GTA Online has a major problem right now, and the latest DLC update to the game really puts it right in front of your face, and you cannot look away from it. Not like every single player would notice it anyway, but once you do, that's it. You're stuck. You will always be thinking about it, and what Rockstar has done here is sacrificed content replayability and fun to artificially limit players' progression and the amount of fun players can have in their game. There's no reason for any of this to exist, and that is mission cooldowns, or content cooldowns if you will. There's a big one with the Cayo Perico heist, but honestly, that's on one end of the spectrum where it's clearly an overpowered activity, and a cooldown on it was long overdue to balance out the amount of money players were making in comparison to the rest of the content in the game. But on the other hand of the spectrum, we have the bottom dollar bounties DLC update content and the new cooldowns introduced with this DLC. And for the money that players are making with this content, it's ridiculous to limit them further. This is going to be a very discussion heavy video, so I'd love for you to get involved in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts on all this that we talk about as we jump in here. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in. Hopefully you enjoy, and with that said, let's get started. Well, to start off, we might as well, to showcase this, actually play one of the missions in game ourselves, but first, let's send our bail agents out on a job for us. And I guess I should mention right here, right at the very beginning, these guys just flat out, no way around it, they need to make players more money. The bail agents, they're very expensive and they need to be able to allow you to accrue more money in this wall safe. I've sent these bail agents out 3 or 4 times. $25,900 is in the wall safe. They don't make much money at all. It's going to take you a while to make your money back. Yes, if you're grinding the game for a long time, it is a good long-term money maker, just like anything else, but that would happen with any sort of content besides just OG contact missions, as long as you're putting thousands of hours in the game. Let's do the Leroy O'Neal bounty for $123,000. This is a pretty fun mission. There's like a nice Red Dead Redemption 2 Easter egg. This whole mission is basically a Red Dead Redemption 2 Easter egg, but we'll get into that a little bit later. For now, let's just start it up, and we are going to have a long way to drive to actually get out here. Normally, I would skip this, but I feel like this is a good opportunity for me to talk about the problems that I have with this DLC for the sake of this video. I needed to wait for Jeanette to be quiet, because she really does just talk your ear off when you start some of these bounties. I wish after your first time playing, she wouldn't need to basically radio broadcast in your ear everything that's going down, because I think we know once we're playing through this. So let's start off with talking about the payouts. Now, I know that is the most contentious point of this DLC. I come from the opinion that not every single activity in the game needs to pay out like Cayo Perico. Not every activity in the game does pay out like Cayo Perico or the Dr. Dre contract. This is definitely one of those like mid-tier type of activities that you could do to earn maybe $30,000 per piece of content you play, like you're doing VIP work or something like that, right? Earn between $30,000 $40,000. We have 2 ways of approaching this DLC. Rockstar should either restructure the missions to make them better for players, a little bit more enjoyable and things like that, or give out more pay, maybe 1.5 to 2.5 times because of these cooldowns. Only doing a most wanted target once a day for the pay you make. Isn't that great? It's a nice warm-up activity. I said that in my previous video, but it should be paying more for the time it takes, especially if it's supposed to be like a legendary bounty like we would get in Red Dead Online. And then the normal blue bounties are just these normal things you kind of do. You make $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 off of them. And those could make, you know, I don't think players would have a problem with these if they made $60,000, $70,000 off them. I don't think Rockstar is going to increase the payout, but what they should do, another thing that they should do that I just unfortunately don't see them actually doing, is removing the cooldowns. Restructure the missions to just get rid of the cooldowns altogether. Either give the most wanted target a 4-hour cooldown IRL, so 4 hours and then you'll get the cooldown, and then the blue bounty should be farmed over and over and over without, you know, going through all 3 and then you have to wait an hour for them to come back and refresh, right? So here is where you come for the mission, and this is the Red Dead Redemption 2 Easter egg. I forget the mission it's in, but Arthur Morgan gets knocked out and, you know, they remove all your equipment, they remove all your clothes, things like that. You wake up in a basement and Arthur needs to free himself and get back to camp, and he kills a bunch of people along the way. And this is basically that same exact mission, except of course here in GTA Online. The game says that your weapons, clothes, and phone have been taken. Find a way to get out of the basement and retrieve your gear. And so what we're gonna need to do is actually basically break open this fuse box and get out of here. So first what we're gonna do is grab this pool cue here that you can get right there. That's our first little weapon. Then we want to smash this fuse box. Smash the fuse box. Then what's gonna happen is the door isn't gonna be electrified anymore. Now you can actually get out of here. I didn't want to hit that. I wanted to hit right on the D-pad. Please let me out. And that's basically it. Then we're gonna find our weapons and stuff like that, kill a bunch of people. First we need to escape the house, and we gotta start bonking people with pool cues, which you'll see here. But while we continue to do this, I'll keep talking talking about kind of what's going on here in game and what Rockstar should do. So if they were to basically get rid of the hour-long cooldowns on the standard bounties, and they got rid of the 1 IRL day on the most wanted targets, and they give you a 4-hour cooldown for that, I think players would be a lot happier with how the type of content would work in this game if they were to keep the payouts the same, because I don't think they necessarily should increase the payouts if the cooldowns are going to get removed. I think the real problem is the cooldowns themselves, combined with the fact that the pay isn't necessarily up to par. Not that every activity needs to pay a crap ton of money, I know that, I agree with you there, but at the same time, a lot of players feel like they can't earn enough money from this update with all these cooldowns going on. And of course, Rockstar wants you to go around and explore different type of content in the game, play different activities, things like that. But the problem with that, unfortunately, is the fact that a lot of players may just want to continue playing one sort of content. You should be able to farm the same content over and over and over, not because it's a meta way of making money and you want to exploit that, but just because you should be able to play the same type of content over and over and over just because you want to, right? And it's Rockstar's problem that they're not balancing the game in the correct way, and what they're doing is they're forcing you to go on these cooldowns. I just saw the key over here, so I'm gonna grab the key, grab the farmhouse key right off of the nightstand. That should allow us to unlock the door and get the heck out of here. I need to find my weapons, but I don't know if there's anything else downstairs I can find. Okay, my weapons have been stashed nearby. Oh, here's my weapons. Okay, they're in this box. I was wondering why I couldn't actually get them. Okay, so there is my loadout. My loadout's back. Now we gotta search the area and find Leroy, and then we'll take him to jail. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think that the missions in this game, should they pay out more? You know, 1.5, 2 times, maybe even 2.5 times as much, but we keep the cooldowns? Or should Rockstar keep the payouts the same, but remove the cooldowns entirely? I think that would be the better option. I'd rather farm the content over and over than just make more money with it, you know, because I'm having fun with these missions. The missions are very fun. The replay value is certainly there, but we can't replay them as much because of the fact that we have these cooldowns with these most wanted targets. So at most we can do is 1 a day, which already, you know, maybe some players only have an hour or 2 per day to play, and that's, you know, obviously stretching it too, right? Everyone's got a life, they got work, school, family, etc. So we don't have all day to play the game anyway. But if a player does have all day to play the game, they should be able to farm this content over and over. Rockstar's introduced the Cayo Perico Heist cooldowns. Rockstar's introduced cooldowns for the tow truck. Rockstar's introduced cooldowns for the police dispatch work, which I think is also ridiculous. I didn't even touch on that yet. The police dispatch cooldowns are also pretty silly too. They're putting all these cooldowns like it's a mobile game in the game. And if that's the experience they want to go for, I think it's the wrong move. I really think it is. This is a premium game. We all paid money for it. Yeah, you can buy the standalone for cheaper. I think you could buy the standalone for $10 right now. Did I accidentally kill Leroy? No, I didn't. Hold on. I gotta stun him. Okay, he's just hiding. I thought I accidentally killed him again. I was like, there's just no way. Let's secure the target. Come on, Leroy. You're going to jail, my guy. Let's throw him in the paddy wagon. And on the way back, we'll also chat about this a little bit more, because I feel like this video didn't really get started the way I wanted it to. My thoughts weren't as collected as they were driving over to this location, because Jeanette is just talking my ear off right now. I think those are players' biggest problems with this DLC. Yes, you know, I'm sure players want a little bit more variety with the missions, but we do have a pretty decent amount of variety between all the different types of robbery targets and all the locations you go to. And then, of course, we have the 6 most wanted targets. But just the fact that we have cooldowns before we could play more of the missions that are brand new to the game, by the way, as of last week. And also the fact that, of course, the payouts are a little bit lackluster compared to what players may have wanted. That's also, I see, is something that's a big deal in this game, considering we're super far into the life cycle of this game. And Rockstar's introducing all these mechanics that players just don't want. Yeah, is it really cool that they're still giving out content for a decade-old game? Absolutely. Not a lot of games would make it this far. Not many do. In fact, most don't. But why are they introducing all these cooldowns now? And if you think it's going to get any better with GTA 6, I think that's major cope right there. That's the real concern, is not only do we have these cooldowns in the activities in this game, but everyone's like, well, you know, I'm just excited for GTA 6. GTA Online is kind of dying for me, etc. Like, I'll just see you guys later when GTA 6 comes out. I think all these types of cooldowns are going to be in GTA 6 right now as well. Rockstar is completely transforming the way GTA Online works to try and... Oh, I'm so sorry. Was that a coyote? I think it was. This guy is toast, though. Oh, my God. He got mashed up by the center guardrail there. I do believe that a lot of this stuff is going to make its way into GTA 6 in some way. Maybe not directly on mission cooldowns as we're seeing right now, but depending on how the mission structure works in the game, payouts, if we even have the same type of economy and all that, I think GTA 6 Online specifically may be a little bit disappointing with all the cooldowns that we have. I don't see why they would introduce all these 10 years or almost 11 years now into GTA Online if they don't plan on introducing this type of stuff into GTA 6 Online in any single regard. Do I think every piece of content in that game will have it? No, but do I think some, and maybe a lot of it? Yes, because GTA Online is already turning into that right now. We've had a lot of this content in the game. Case in point with the Chop Shop update. We got the tow truck missions for the winter DLC update. Rockstar's excuse for giving tow truck cooldowns were because players were blowing up the tow truck so they didn't have to drive really far away for the tow truck missions. Well, even if you do a successful tow truck mission, you still get the cooldown. That shouldn't be the case either. I think that's ridiculous. So at the end of the day, I do believe we have a pretty big problem in GTA Online right now. Players are already getting a little bit burnt out on the game, especially if you've been playing this for an entire decade, right? And for new players, it may be even a little bit overwhelming, which, by the way, if you find starting this game in the beginning of GTA Online extremely overwhelming, I have a great beginner's guide, which I highly recommend you check out. I tried it out. The video's doing okay. If you want to check it out, I will have it linked down in the description below for you to check out, enjoy, and take advantage of as well. But I think after all this time, the longtime players are getting very bored. The new players are overwhelmed, and these cooldowns aren't helping. You know, the way Rockstar is structuring some of the missions and stuff like that, the content is fun, but the way they're going about how that affects the in-game economy and how that affects player progression and the fun factor in this game, I think they're going about that in the absolute wrong way. Lower payouts than what we wanted, which isn't the biggest deal, but the cooldowns are the absolute biggest problem with this DLC. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this. We captured Leroy O'Neal. He's now been brought to justice. That was what, $123,000 most wanted target. I'd love to play another, but right now I can only do blue normal free roam bounties as well as police dispatch work because I have to wait until tomorrow to do another one of the most wanted targets. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video here today. I want to talk about some other things coming later here in GTA Online. You know, we talked about the Sparrow buff and the Bombushka buff and things like that, but there are some more things that I want to talk about when it comes to those types of features and those adjustments Rockstar made in this game. Like I said, talked about them in my patch notes video, but I never really had a discussion yet. So if you want to see that video, let me know in the comments down below. But again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next GTA Online video. Adios, amigos.